pneumatiky, tak to vypadá, že ten závěrečný závod celého víkendu.
Hello and welcome once again for the final time here at Autodrom Most. We are hopefully going to conclude this weekend with the last race on program, and that is the Suzuki Swift Cup Europe. But we already have the information that the race start has been delayed by 10 minutes because we are on the starting grid. The wind is strongly picking up, as you can see from, for example, the flags in the background. and the clouds are very near the circuit, and we are expecting a huge rain coming the way of the circuit. The race will be started behind the safety car, and you also see the hectic work on the starting grid as the teams have got the chance with the delayed start to change the tires last minute. So it is swapping the slicks for grooved tires, and let's see what happens, because as I checked the radar, really a huge cloud is coming onto the circuit, and if it starts raining, it's probably going to be very intense. Not really sure whether it's going to be quick, so if we get a delay, we might even face a red flag here, but let's see about that. It is the race number 3, the safety car that left the starting field, as is normal during the starting procedure when the safety car is at the front of the grid. It went out for a reconnaissance lap, and it had already been raining on some of the parts. You also might notice against the camera the rain intensity, so it is even visible, and the safety car returned back onto the start and finish straight. There it is, confirmed for you. The rain is coming, and it is going to be one heck of a shower. Just like last year, I remember that we finished all the program. It was a Renault Twingo Cup race back then as the final act of the weekend, and just as we finished, it started pouring with rain. So we really immediately tried to hide ourselves in the nearby bistro. And there it is. The downpour has just started. So let's take a look at the starting order. It is Gábor Foraj from Hungary who is going to start from pole position. Alongside him, Vince Keller. They will not enjoy the standing start from the front row because it has already been decided that the race will start under or behind the safety car. That, of course, will mean that we will start behind it, and when the race control decides that the weather conditions are suitable for the green flag conditions, the safety car will simply go back into the pits, and the drivers will be released. In third place, therefore, Balázs Hartmann from István Bernula in fourth, Oskar Marszalkowski in fifth, Zsombor Pinter, yesterday's race 1 winner, in 6th. Moritz Csermely, the championship leader, in 7th from Marton Csuzy. Ton Knappen in 9th. Max Knappen P10. Bastian Frischmann in 11th. And Fabian Di Bionca down in 12th. And then we've got the 1.6 class field. Ferenc Hartmann, Greta Gál, Zoltán Čuty, Boris Lisiecký, Maciej Šupčinsky. So activities that you would love to be doing on a Sunday afternoon. Number 1, changing tires in heavy rain. Poor team members that have to now be standing next to the cars in the delayed starting procedure. But that's simply what happens. Yeah, it's been a long day, and it will become even longer now at this 4.2 kilometer long track. It was Fabian Di Bionca who scored the victory in the second race that was on program earlier on today. For Moritz Csermely and Zsombor Pinter, Fabian Di Bionca, on the other hand, only 12th on the grid right now. So he's facing a big challenge. just over 3 minutes left before we are going to set off for the reconnaissance laps, and they will immediately start to count towards the race distance behind the safety car. That's the procedure, so no formation lap in the end. But with the heavy wind, you can even hear it from the microphones around the track. How strong it is. I'm not really sure whether we will be able to take out the green flags anytime soon. It's actually one big cloud with thunderstorm. Well, it's actually a thunderstorm. We even heard a thunder, saw a couple of lightnings right before the race. I was next to the podium for the podium ceremony for the Renault Twingo Cup when the wind really picked up, and we heard one gigantic thunder nearby, and it was immediately obvious to everybody standing around that that was not a sound that the Suzuki Swift makes. There you can see it. Heavy wind, pouring down with rain, but the cars are off. 20 minutes plus 1 lap, as you can see up there on the gantry. So the timer is on. It's raining heavily. So let's see what the situation is, whether we will be even able to actually get to green flag conditions. There is actually one huge cluster of clouds, and we are currently inside of it, but it should stop in about, well, after the race. Probably the intensity should go down from now on in about 5 to 10 minutes. Shouldn't be as dramatic, but it's probably not going to stop raining all through the race, as I'm seeing on the radar. And then there's another big cloud coming in about 1-2 hours. Yeah, that's going to be past the racing action anyway, but an even more intense rain is coming after this one. Either way, we are out on track behind the safety car. So the drivers have to make sure that they really put some heat into their tires, but they will try not to overcook it, not to slide. It's still not, well, terribly wet. You don't really see much of the spray behind the cars. So who knows, maybe we can actually start the race after all. Still no message from the race control that the safety car would be coming in. We are definitely going to continue. The safety car still has its lights on. Doesn't seem that dramatic to me. So we're gonna give ourselves another lap. It's obviously going to be quite complicated because we are reaching the end of the day as well. So we will not really get much more light than we have now. Let me just try and check a couple more details for you. Yes, sunset here in Most at 8:44 p.m. Really far away from that, because of course it's the middle of summer. So Gábor Foraj in first place from Vince Keller, Balázs Hartmann, István Bernula. It's a Hungarian top 4 currently. Oskar Marszalkowski behind them. Zsombor Pinter in 6th from Moritz Čermej, Marton Čuziton Knappen and Max Knappen, the Dutch duo, completing the top 10. Bastian Frischmann, the only Austrian on the grid, in 11th from Fabian Di Bionca. Race 2 winner, this time only 12th at the back of the 1.4 class. Driving for Darek Nowitzki Racing. In the 1.6 category, we've got the 2Q9 Ferenova Racing team leading, with Ferenc Hartmann in front of Greta Gal, behind them Zoltán Chuty, Boris Lisiecky and Maciej Szupczynski. And it's pouring with rain, look at that. Yeah, under such a rain. Safety car in this lap. Okay, so we're going racing. I mean, there's a lot of rain, but it's not really heavy drops as such. And there's not that much water on the track currently. So the safety car will come back into the pits, as it is doing right now, and Gabor Foray is bringing the entire field onto the start and finish straight, immediately coming under pressure from Vince Keller, but he has to wait for the line to be able to start overtaking. Now he can, and there is a fight for the race lead immediately. Balázs Hartmann, it has not been a great weekend for him so far, but here he's fighting for podium and even for the victory. Vince Keller moving into the lead right away. So the track is green, although it is wet, and we are racing. István Bernula in that black car, losing ground. Vince Keller leading from Balázs Hartmann, and Gabor Foray losing a couple of places immediately. Oskar Marszalkowski also trying to come through. So is the championship leader Moritz Čermej. Contact between the two cars, but only just. And in the end, Marszalkowski is coming through anyway. He is up to P3 right now. Moritz Čermej also overtakes Gabor Foray. Foray being really careful on this opening lap. He's already lost 4 positions. Behind him, István Bernula and Zsombor Pinter. There is a slide for one of the cars, but I think that the driver managed to hold it. Vince Keller under pressure from Balázs Hartmann. Oskar Marszalkowski also coming in with Moritz Čermej on his rear wing. Whoa! You can hear that tire squeal, which A tells you there's not that much of water on the track, and B, it tells you it's slippery anyway. Keller still leading. Balázs Hartmann closely behind them. Another fight, and this is a 3-way battle. Car number 501. That is, of course, Fabian Di Bionca, the winner from earlier on, having a go on Gabor Foray. So Di Bionca from 12th on the grid up to 5th already in the opening couple of laps. István Bernula together with them. There are the race leaders, Keller from Hartmann, and Moritz Čermej up to 3rd. He had just overtaken Oskar Marszalkowski. Look at that. Balázs Hartmann pushing Vince Keller. He's trying to push him into a mistake. Vince Keller so far holding on to 1st, and he seems to have accidentally put the indicator on. So blinking left. But Balázs Hartmann sends it down the inside into 7. Hartmann takes the lead of the race. Balázs Hartmann, not the greatest of weekends so far, but to close it off with a victory in rain, that would be great for him. Car number 555 overtaking under the safety car, currently under investigation. 555, that is Boris Lisiecki from the 1.6 class. Way down the order overall, but second in, currently leading the 1.6 class. Vince trying to fight back against Balázs Hartmann, but Moritz Čermej. Look at Moritz Čermej appearing, already trying to have a look around the outside on Vince Keller. Does this have any chance of success? Potentially so. Hartmann will find better grip around the outside, so stays ahead of Keller. Čermej now slipstreaming past the white Swift. Still heavily raining. And hard brakes into the first chicane. Little nudge from Keller, but Moritz Čermej overtakes him around the outside and even takes the lead from Hartmann. Vince Keller surprising Hartmann as well and stealing second from him. Hartmann fights back, finds better traction. Ooh, this is a really heavy downpour now. Fabian Dibionka together with them already. Or is it again Oskar Marszalkowski? Yes, it is. Oskar Marszalkowski has retaken that 4th place from Dibionka and is now even mixing himself among the top group. Moritz Čermej takes the lead in the heavy rain. Vince Keller back in second. Balázs Hartmann dropping it down to 3rd. Oskar Marszalkowski behind them. This might be the 1.6 class leader, car number 565 actually. So that is actually the last car on the track. Ferenc Hartmann. He was on pole in the 1.6 class, but now he is last. And lapping very slowly indeed. Moritz Čermej in the meantime set the absolute fastest lap of the race, 2:07.5. Way faster than the cars around. And now it is Oskar Marszalkowski coming through on Balázs Hartmann, taking 3rd spot off his hands. So Hartmann leading on the previous lap. And now he's down to 4th. Within 4 kilometers. Moritz Čermej trying to pull ahead. Marszalkowski sends it round the outside on Keller. Takes second from him. And again, better grip round the outside, as is usual in rainy conditions right after it starts raining, where the racing line that's rubbered in from the dry proceedings is actually slippier, but more slippery. That's what I wanted to say. Vince Keller got hit from the back along the pit straight. And Oskar Marszalkowski setting off the chase after Moritz Čermej in the race lead. In the meantime, however, Čermej set another fastest lap of the race, 2:07.4, but Marszalkowski was battling these two guys in the meantime, so we're gonna have to wait for his next lap time to assess his current performance. Car number 544, that is Zoltán Čuty, exactly in the middle of the 1.6 class, not in the lead and not last. These should be the 1.6 class leaders. Yes, car number 571, Maciej Szubczyński from Boris Lisiecki, 2 Polish drivers, currently holding on to that 1-2. Just under 7 minutes left, plus 1 lap, let's not forget. Vince Keller has to surrender to the pressure of Balázs Hartmann, who's retaking 3rd in this race. Oskar Marszalkowski trying to chase after Moritz Čermej. Let's wait for the finishing line and for the lap times. In the meantime, it is Fabian Dibionka coming through, taking a spot off Vince Keller, who is not finding better grip around the outside this time and even understeers into gravel slightly. 6 minutes left on the clock. Across the line we go. What are the lap times doing? It's actually Fabian Dibionka who's now set the fastest lap of the race, 2:07.0. Marszalkowski did 1/10 of a second worse, but still 4/10 of a second better than the race leader. So he's reduced the gap to 1.1 seconds, and you see them in the same shot. So Marszalkowski definitely in here for a victory, definitely within a shout of a victory chance. According to the radar, by now we should be out of the worst of the current intensity. Heavier rain still coming later on, but that is only going to come after the race. So it's not stopping to rain or stopping raining, but we'll see. 4.5 minutes left, so only a couple of laps. We are lapping in around about 2 minutes 7 seconds. So let's stay with the leaders. This should mean 2 laps within the time designated for the race, plus 1 lap, so 3 laps from the end. Exactly, well, pretty much exactly 1 second between Čermej and Oskar Marszalkowski. Fabian Dibionka getting third off the hands of Balázs Hartmann. So for a moment it started to look good for Hartmann. He was leading for 1 lap. Now he's lost it again. He's off the podium right now as well. Vince Keller not keeping up with the race leaders and losing more and more ground in 5th. It's becoming more of a lonely race for him. 2:06.8, the new fastest time set by Oskar Marszalkowski, who's got even closer to Čermej. But does he have enough time to launch an attack? He does not seem to be catching him quickly enough, but there they are. Čermej and Marszalkowski leading the race. They're going to be lapping one of the back markers. This is Zoltán Čuty. A big slide for Čermej, who even puts 2 wheels on the grass. And this is giving a great chance to Marszalkowski, who's closing in very quickly right now. And they are definitely in touch at the moment. That was a big mistake by the race and the championship leader. Around the final 2 corners they go, and Oskar Marszalkowski currently has great pace. 2 laps to go in this race. Still raining. Čermej already covering the inside line into the first corner. They have to be careful under braking, getting into the chicane. 1 minute left. Čermej still ahead. Maršalkovský didn't find the correct opportunity, or hasn't found it just yet. And it seems to me, and by looking at the live timing screen, it's also supported by the data, that Fabian Dybionka is still closing in on the leaders. He set his personal best on the previous lap, 2:06.9. Maršalkovský did 2:07.6. Čermej even 2:08.3 with that huge sideways moment a lap ago. The time will be up by the time we reach the finishing line. And the intensity seems to be increasing, actually. Intensity of the rain seems to be increasing at the moment. And it is. So we are entering the final lap of the race with Moritz Čermej still leading from Oskar Maršalkovský and Fabian Dybionka, two Polish drivers currently on the podium. Balázs Hartmann behind them in fourth, but already losing a little more. So he's out of this fight for now. Maršalkovský, he closed on Čermej really quickly, but he is struggling to find his way past. It's not so easy to drive in the spray behind another car. This is the final one. Maršalkovský now sensing a chance. He's close, but not enough. Into the hairpin. This is for the race victory. Moritz Čermej, he won the opening race of the season. Well, Dybionka victorious earlier on. It was Zsombor Pinter who won the race yesterday. This is Bastian Frischmann back to the lead. Final lap of the race. Still raining rather heavily. Moritz Čermej, he didn't manage to get away from the rest of the pack, but he has got the measure of them. And he is not letting anyone into any chance. 2 corners left. It's been eventful, but in the end, the championship leader is on course to win another one. Moritz Čermej making it round the final corner of the track and across the line. Moritz Čermej scores the final victory of the weekend in the Suzuki Swift Cup Europe race from the Polish duo of Oskar Maršalkovský and Fabian Dybionka. Balázs Hartmann in fourth from Vince Keller, who was leading in the beginning. Max Knappen, good race from the Dutchman, in sixth. Zsombor Pinter in seventh from Gabor Foraj, the pole sitter. István Bernula down in ninth from Marton Čuzy, completing the top 10. Behind them, Maciej Šupčinský victorious, well, on course to win in the 1.6 class. And on the final lap, by the way, Fabian Dybionka managed to set the fastest lap of the race at 2:06.5, kind of going against me saying that the rain intensifies, but still he managed the fastest lap of the race. These are cars from P7 onwards. Zsombor Pinter, Gabor Foraj, and it's actually István Bernula probably making a place against Gabor Foraj, it seems. No, Gabor Foraj ahead of István Bernula, behind them Marton Čuzy and Maciej Šupčinský scoring the 1.6 class victory ahead of his countryman Boris Lisiecký. Still some cars finishing. Ton Knappen in 13th. and Bastian Frischmann in 14th. They even finished behind the winners of the 1.6 class, and this is the fight for the podium between Zoltán Chuty and Greta Gal. Greta trying to make a move. Is she gonna steal that third spot off the hands of Zoltán Chuty? It appears so, but they are running side by side onto the start and finish straight. Are we going to have another photo finish? Maybe. For the absolute finale, yes we are. No, it is Greta Gal coming across the line a little quicker. So Greta Gal on the podium, what a move on the absolute final lap. And that was the final battle that we witnessed here in Most. A great one, nice one. Zoltán Chuty then finishing off the podium from Ferenc Hartmann coming in 5th with a lap, well, being a lap down it seems. So a nice fight to finish us off here in Most. It's been a great weekend of racing action. So many races, so many classes. I believe you must have enjoyed that thoroughly. And we are really very happy that you've been with us on the live stream as well. Of course, we will come back with more. There is another racing round in 3 weeks' time in Slovakia, then in the beginning of September in Brno, and then also one more round in Salzburg Ring, not for all the categories, but still rounds and races left in 2024, just as the Suzuki Swift Cup Europe drivers are getting back to the pit lane and to Parc Fermé. We're going to show you the final results table. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Pavel Fabry. I've been your commentator for the weekend, and we are going to wish you very happy times wherever you're going. Maybe you've got a holiday in front of you. Maybe you're gonna enjoy some of the summer break actually. And we are looking forward to meeting you and seeing you and welcoming you back before too long. But for now, it is a very warm goodbye.